Hello, everybody. Welcome to Finish or Fail Doubles Edition. Oh my God, it's Digibro, and I'm here with May.
Hi.
We're gonna watch, like all of the spring
Yeah.
spring season. How many spring season shows did you watch?
Like 2 episodes of Arrow manga.
I watched all of Arrow Manga Sensei, and I watched the first episode of Hinako Note.
I also watched a couple episodes of that. Like 2. Yeah.
Yeah. No.
But I was really
intentions of-
drunk.
Funny you say that, because I too was. Well, I was like hungover and drinking a bunch of coffee, and they were working on my roof at the time. In any case, the show didn't keep my attention, so that's not on the list. I've got 19 shows here that not only have we not seen, but they were ones that weren't like extremely low rated, like shows that had like a 5 on Mal. So keeping it to stuff that I know we're not guaranteed to hate. But let's check out what we got. Okay, you guys know how it works. It's 18 ID 0. All right. I added this one. This one didn't have the best score, but I was curious about it. So some of these I'm just curious about. Let's see what happens. Well, we just watched all of ID 0 unexpectedly. Didn't see that coming. This show neither of us had heard of or anything about. And it was like at the very bottom of the popularity list on Mal, and it only has a score of like 6.86, which is anything less than a 7 on Mal is dodgy, because Mal scores are typically very high. But with a show like this, I like to think the reason the score is like that is just that the kind of people who will actually go out and watch the super obscure shows are the ones who are more strict with their ratings, you know? Because, like, when we started this show and it was actually kind of okay, like, part of what was motivating me to want to watch all of it was that it was so unpopular. It's like, oh, this has been undervalued. And, like, it's not even that I disagree with the score. Like, I'd give it a decent 6 myself.
I say 6.8 is
pretty apt.
On point,
yeah.
That's what I would say.
It's just that, like, seeing that 6.8 and then seeing, like, Arrow Manga Sensei with a 7.1 is why you feel like, I gotta give this a shot if it's okay. Very strange show.
Oh, it was bizarre.
And
I've never seen anything like that.
Yeah, it goes in a lot of directions. Like it was already weird at first, and then it gets a different kind of weird at the end.
It was ambitiously bizarre.
Yeah, ambitiously bizarre. It's 12 episodes, and after the first episode, I immediately went to look at all the staff, because I was just like, what is this? And the first time I saw the main girl's face, I immediately thought, that looks like Renji Murata's designs. And I was right, which is one of the things I think this show does very well. This is a CG show. Everything's in CG. For obvious reasons, because most of the show is about robots. Like, the characters, the central conceit of this show is that humans can transfer their consciousness into giant robots. And of our main cast, we've got some characters who are like don't have their original body anymore. They're just robots. And so, like, a lot of this show is just fucking robots talking to each other. But it's got really lively animation. There's at least one character who you literally never see their real body throughout the show, and they still feel like a completely fleshed out character just because of how well animated the poses and everything are of the robots. So that's cool. But then also just the humans looked really distinct. I mean, I recognized Renji Murata's art immediately, and most CG shows, I feel like the designs are pretty generic or don't stand out. So, like, to see such a recognizable art style was like, oh, this is what they should do. Like, this is a good way to do CG. Try to replicate, like, cool artists.
Yeah.
So the what we didn't expect, I think, that this is a very sci-fi, like, extremely. Hold on, I'm gonna look at the. I believe this is the same studio, who made Bubuki Baranki.
That's also what I was thinking.
Because that's the other show that I thought did CG well.
Yeah.
How much of that did you watch?
I watched 6 episodes.
That's
and
about
then
how
started
far I
to
read
get
it.
to shit.
Yeah.
I couldn't understand anything about it.
Just it got weird.
Yeah.
In a way not unlike how this show gets weird, but this show kept more of a sense of humor.
Yeah.
And was more like Bubuki Baranki took itself too seriously, and that's what kind of lost me. ID Zero never stops being goofy and fun. And I think a lot of that comes from the fact that it's directed by Taniguchi Goro, who was the director of Code Geass, S. Cryed, Infinite Revias, Planets, Maria the Virgin Witch, is that him? And but last year he did both seasons of Active Raid, which, I mean, he was the chief director, so I don't know if he was like the actual director, but that show was too much for me. Active Raid was a show where it was like more than I could process was going on. ID Zero is a little bit more comprehensible. Not to say that it's more toned down, because it goes fucking crazy, but it was followable, even though it does throw a lot of concepts at you, and like, it's odd because it's the kind of show that will like have some crazy sci-fi shit happen and then explain it a bit later. You know, like it doesn't hit you with the exposition dumps right in the front. It'll be more like, it kind of kept us curious. I think that's why we kept watching.
Yeah.
It's just like something would happen and we'd both be like, well, what is that? Like, how does that work? And then we'd be like, I guess we gotta watch the next episode and figure out how that works. And it kept going that way. Very twisting, turning plot. That turned out to be unpredictable, because at first the show is kind of it's very small scale, small cast of characters. The main character girl is like training to be an astrogeologist, and she ends up on this like pirate mining ship, and it's kind of just an adventure story about them on this ship, and like questions keep being raised, but the plots are kind of like episodic, and you're just kind of like, okay, I'm just curious enough to know where this is going to go. It's charming. It's got really fascinating sci-fi concepts in the fact that the characters are mind transferring into robots, and like just the fact that some of the characters are robots I think was the coolest part about it. Like, and they're giant robots. They're like humanoid, but they're giant. So inside of the ship, there will be, like, in their main control room, there's, like, a little section where the humans stand and, like, run the ship. And then there's the giant robots right behind them. And that's pretty cool. And, like, and for a lot of characters, that's, you know, how, well, I'm not going to spoil anything, but, like, I like the way that's handled. That was the coolest part. The mind transferring concept, as the show goes along, gets expanded on in some interesting way. It's, by which I mean goofy as fuck. This show gets fucking goofy, man. And I mean, it's goofy from the start in terms of like just throwing in like random weird curveball like moments, just like, you know, anime stuff that's just like there for a goof and a gaff. But as it goes, the story itself gets real goofy. And I mean, yeah, I guess it didn't take itself so seriously that, like, it was stupid. I mean, it was dumb, but it wasn't stupid.
Yeah.
There was at least one part, I think, that we didn't understand towards the end. Like, the beginning of the last, or the ending of episode 11, beginning of episode 12, we were both pretty confused. Because sometimes the show will hit you with some... It'll just, like, start doing a lot of different things, and there'll be a lot of techno-babble, and it's like, wait, what were they doing?
Yeah.
Like, what was the plan here? But really cool soundtrack.
Oh, yeah.
Lots of just interesting musical choices. Some of the songs we both thought sounded like Zelda, and other ones are, like, orchestral tunes or electronic, and then, in one climactic scene... a really bizarre, like, what are those called? The drums that you hit with the sticks?
Asking the wrong bitch, my friend.
It's like tenka, you know, the two sticks that you hit the fucking drums with. I can't remember what those are fucking called.
Drums?
No, the cylindrical sticks. The Japanese taiko drum. It was like a taiko drum song.
It was like the opening to Ghost in the Shell.
Yeah, but like a goofy carnival song. Like, it starts off sounding like it's going to be dramatic, and then it's like, wait, why is this the song for the big finale? There's a lot of interesting choices in this show, but like, it has a good flow visually. I mean, again, knowing it's Sanzigen, the guy, it has a lot of the same strengths as Bubuki Baranki. It's not as action-oriented as that show. It doesn't have as much, like, trigger-feeling moments, because I had always thought that Bubuki Baranki felt like a Trigger show in 3D. And they actually share a studio space with Trigger, so a lot of people are saying that that's part of why. But in any case, yeah, this was a step in the right direction for full CG shows, I thought. Like, I really think between this and Bubuki Baranki, I really feel like the key to making CG work is really memorable character designs that work in CG. Ranji Murata's designs translated really well here. The robots were cool.
Really fucking cute girls in the show.
Yeah, really cute girls. And cool robots. Like, I really like the robot designs because they're kind of somewhere between like a transforming hero designs. Like, they're a little bit like Tiger and Bunny, I thought. But with really interesting heads on them. They've got like these kind of round heads. Like, some of them look more like traditional robots, and other ones are a little bit more like work robot looking, but they're all very skeletal, and I don't know, I liked them. I really want this I think robot people should check this show out. It probably won't fulfill the, like, if you're into giant robots like Gundam, you might not get the kind of giant robots you want. If you're more into, like, transforming robots or the kind of stuff that's in, like in Active Raid, then you probably like these ones, but they're big and they're cool. Yeah, there was a lot to like about this show. Ultimately, I don't think it's something everyone needs to go see. It was a fun way to spend an afternoon. We pretty much binged it over the course of the day. And, I wanted to see it all just because, like, clearly nobody watched it and someone had to. And, I had a good time. And if I had a good time, then you might have a good time. Yeah. Anything else you wanted to say about this one?
Not really.
Yeah.
No, if you liked Armageddon, it was very. It reminded me a lot of it. Just like the characters and how, like, I don't know, the sense of humor about it.
Are you a fan of Armageddon, the movie?
I've only seen it once. I saw it when I was in, like, 11th grade, but it just reminded me of it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know if there's a lot of people who are a fan of Armageddon.
It's a good movie. I think there are a lot of Armageddon fans.
It's a Michael Bay movie.
Yeah, it's a good Michael Bay
Most people probably just shit on it.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it since I was a kid. Anyway, yeah. ID 0. It's not bad.
Yeah, it's so.
6.
Like here.
6, yeah. 6. It was worth it for the meme.
Word.
Worth the meme, as Victor would say. Let's find out what our next show is.
Yeah.
Alright, what's next? We got 18 left. 17. We're keeping it towards the bottom. Let's... Ani ni tsukeru kusuru wa nai. I accidentally deleted the I on there. Alright, I don't know what that is.
Me neither.
Title sounds like shit, so let's find out. Alright, well, we watched the first 2 episodes of Take My Brother Away, Please, as it was called on YouTube. What the hell is this show? It's like a Chinese 3-minute episode. We only figured out it was Chinese because of the names.
And their weird-ass school uniforms.
Yeah, it's just a Flash cartoon kind of thing. Oh, are those school uniforms?
I think everybody's wearing them, so I think so. They have like a logo on them.
Everyone looks like they're wearing tracksuits.
Yeah.
Like, at all times. Anyway, it's... Like, the first episode was a little funny.
Yeah.
It's just, there's a brother and sister. The brother's kind of I don't know, a fuckboy, I guess.
Yeah.
And the sister is really strong and violent.
Mm-hmm.
They're kind of cute.
Yeah, it was a good dynamic for about 2.5 minutes.
The first episode had some decent jokes.
Yeah.
It was kind of hit or miss, and then episode 2 was just a flat line, and we were both like,
"Oh, this is worthless."
We just sat there looking at it. Neither of us laughed, and at the end, I was just like, "Well, I'm done."
Yeah.
And we were like, "Yep." So, I wouldn't recommend this.
No, nothing special.
No, it was worth a laugh, I guess, but. Moving on to the next show. Alright, let's roll again, see what we get. We've got 14, which is Fukumenki Noise. Don't know what that is, so I guess we'll find out. Tap. What's the time code? We have 17 minutes left, so that means we're like 5 minutes in.
Yeah.
Watch 5 minutes of anonymous noise.
We made it through most of the first musical performance.
No.
It was just like, no.
This show opens on the most unflattering shot imaginable of this, really bad side face of this girl singing. And she goes to the beach and sings on the shore every morning for 6 years, hoping her voice will reach
her man.
Who? Yeah, I guess she's. I don't know what the fuck. The character designs look like shit. Yeah. The animation looks like shit. The performance scene looked like shit, and it wasn't a very good song.
I don't know about you, but my eyes were just having a hard time focusing on just like
anything.
Yeah, the color palette was like really bad.
I think part of that was that it was doing that thing that anime does where it gets darker for the TV broadcast because it was like lots of flashing lights. But yeah, I mean this show looks like sin. It
was hard. It was literally hard to watch.
It's got the production values of like an early 2000s show.
Yeah. A bad early 2000s
but with modern shitty CG slapped on top of it. I'm guessing this is like a shoujo manga or something. When I was searching for it, there's something about a live action movie, I guess. That's probably better. It's probably better than this show. This looks like shit. It's yet another brain space shitting the bed for 5 years in a row, so yeah, let's watch the next one. Fuck that one. I don't want anything to do with that. Alright. Big money, no whammy. 5. That's Shingeki no Bahamut Virgin Soul. I've heard this is supposed to be really fucking good. So, maybe we'll end up finishing this one.
Yeah.
Well, we just watched the first 5 episodes of Shingeki no Bahamut Virgin Soul, and we kinda lost interest. Mm-hmm. And it's a very sad loss of interest, because we both kind of really wanted to like this show at the start, and then it got fucking boring. What happened?
What did happen? I fell asleep for like the past episode. It was really slow. Slavery's bad.
Yeah, this show. Okay, so you didn't watch the original.
No.
The original Shingeki no Bahamut starts off as this rollicking adventure with all these like fun, wacky characters going out and doing crazy. There's like a whole episode where they fight on a boat with a kraken and shit. It's awesome.
Dope.
And it's like a swashbuckling kind of thing. And the first 4 episodes are like magical. And then it gains a plot, and it all goes downhill from there. Because the plot's stupid and boring and takes itself too seriously, and it doesn't fit with these goofy characters. And I got so fed up with the show, I never even watched the last 2 episodes. So I just didn't bother. And then this new show, people were telling me this one, like, doesn't go downhill and it stays interesting and stuff. But, like, this one starts off with a plot. And so I was thinking at first, like, okay, well, they're doing a more plot-driven, it's way darker. This one's all about, basically humans have enslaved demons. It used to be the world was full of humans, demons, and gods. And they were, like, the gods were kind of in control. Humans and demons were, like, fighting and shit. But now the humans are in control, and they're killing all the gods and demons and enslaving the demons. And, yeah, the message of the show is basically slavery's bad, okay? Like,
okay.
you know, there's this one demon guy who is really strong, and he's killing lots of humans who enslave demons, and he's like, I'm gonna start war with the humans. I want to kill the humans. Fuck the humans.
Super edgy demon guy.
Yeah. If you've ever seen the Brad Neely cartoon Fuck the Humans, that's what the show is. And so I'll show you that later. It's really stupid. So this guy wants to fucking fight the humans, and like there's nothing more to the plot than that. This guy hates slavery a lot, and he wants to kill the humans. And the king of the humans likes slavery a lot, and basically just wants to annihilate the demons and gods because he wants humans to be in charge. And
he keeps some like cracked out speech.
Yeah,
I couldn't follow his like logic at all.
Because it's stupid.
Yeah, it was retarded.
The king is dumb. Like, he is a stupid character, and like he doesn't, you know, like his logic for why he wants the humans to be in charge just it doesn't make sense. And Kaiser, who's one of the main characters of the original show, is like, hey man, maybe this isn't a good idea for obvious reasons. And King's just like, nah, dude, we're strong. We're stronger than them. We'll kill them all. And he's like, what if they unite against us? And the King's like, we're stronger than them. So who cares if they unite against us? And he's like, how do you know that? And he's like, chill, dude, we're stronger than them. And it's just like, this isn't going to end well. So yeah, like, basically all of the plot-centric scenes in the show are just going in circles to the same shit. This guy wants to overthrow the government, or overthrow the humans. The king doesn't want that. Meanwhile, there's this utterly charming other story about this cute little dragon girl who is just a Genki girl. She's super strong. She's animated beautifully.
Oh my God.
The animation in this show is top notch, and particularly with this character, like everything she does looks amazing. You know, she's got amazing facial expressions. The show has a great art style. Mm-hmm. It's very interesting. It kind of reminds me of like early Final Fantasy Yoshitaka Amano style character designs, where it's like clearly supposed to be a Western fantasy, but as interpreted in a way only the Japanese could, kind of, or maybe even European. But like yeah, it's just a very like a effeminate kind of a beautiful men, and everyone's beautiful, everyone's pretty.
The world is really charming too.
Yeah. It's like a rustic fantasy world, but with like lots of random...
Yeah.
Because it's the kind of show where it's like humans, demons, and gods are all just there. So everywhere you go, there's going to be people summoning monsters and like random weird creatures and stuff like that. Which, I mean, these were all properties the first show had. So, I plan to show you the first 4 episodes of the original because they're fucking great, like, on their own. Which will just disappoint you all over again that neither show... like, just sticks, like, I just want a swashbuckling adventure show in this world. Like, there's so much potential, and the animation is so good. And the weird part is that it's better in the funny scenes. Mm-hmm. Like, the action scenes are really well animated, but they're not that interesting.
No, they're not. It's just, like, swords clinging.
Yeah,
like, whoa, exciting.
Yeah, lots of swords clashing, lots of people jumping around, running on buildings. And then there'll be a comedy scene of just the girl, like, running around, and they'll do all this really inventive stuff. Mm. There's one part, I think it's in episode 2, when she's, like, running to try to catch up with the demon guy, and, like, legit, there were animation techniques I'd, like, never seen before. Yeah. Like, the way she was stretching around, like, with the buildings and everything, it looked really cool. If you're big into animation, if you're a Sakuga guy, you got to at least watch a few episodes of this show.
Just the first 2.
That's the first 2 were the best. Yeah, after that, and that's the thing, like, even those 2, like, all the plot setup stuff was, like, kind of boring in those episodes, but it was intriguing because you don't know where it's going. Mm-hmm. And then when you get to episode 5, and it hasn't gone anywhere, then it's just like, oh, it wasn't worth it. It wasn't worth the boring scenes. Like, they are just going to continue to be the boring scenes. Like, all we really want is Nina running around, turning into a dragon, because and it has the best gimmick ever, which is that when she gets horny, she transforms into a dragon. So, and she gets horny constantly.
All the time, whenever she sees a guy.
Yeah, anytime she sees a good-looking guy, she immediately gets super horny, and transforms into a rampaging dragon.
It's so trippy too, but it's so awesome.
Yeah. Oh, the way they represent visually her getting infatuated is really cool. There's lots of things. There's lots of really cool inventive stuff. Like the way that they visualize emotions is really cool. And the way that they do comedy scenes is really cool. And there's lots of moments that are just like, yeah! Like, literally facial expressions that just made me out loud go, yeah! And then you cut to fucking the goddamn demon guy just being like, ugh, we gotta kill the humans. And, like, that's all he says, all his dialogue. You know, the characters are extremely one note. And Nina is so, like, disconnected from the actual plot that, like, her scenes really feel like another show. Mm-hmm. You know, it's like we're cutting away from this really boring, serious political drama about slaves are bad in MK to this wacky, fun cartoon about this girl who turns into a dragon when she gets horny, you know? And, I don't know, it's weird. And because it's serious right from the start, like, that disconnect is there from the beginning. And it just grows stronger and stronger as the plot goes underway. And again, it makes no progress. Nothing new happened. There's a part in episode 3, like the end of episode 3, start of episode 4, is like the demon guy like starts the rebellion. He's like, alright, I'm gonna go try to kill the king. And they're like, don't do it, you're gonna get stopped. And he tries and he gets stopped. But like, no one dies. Nothing changes. So it's like this really long action scene. It's like 10 minutes of like fighting and characters running around. But nothing changes afterwards. It just resets to the status quo, and once again, he's trying to build an army to fight the humans, the king wants to kill all the demons. What was the purpose of this 10-minute action scene? Nothing was accomplished. And then it just goes back to business as usual, and it's building up to the same thing again. So after episode 5, we were losing interest, and I was like, I'll go look up like plot synopsis and see what happens in the next few episodes. And it was like, it's building up to exactly what it seems like it's building up to. There's the king's gonna fuck up. There's gonna be a big war with humans and gods. Yeah, who cares? You know, it's just gonna be more of the same, it seems like. And also, we didn't realize it was a 24 episode show. I somehow just missed that detail. So it's still airing. But yeah, I don't know. I can't be asked to care enough to watch any more of it. Nina's great. The animation's great. The world is great. I don't know why they keep trying to put these serious plot lines into these shows that it's totally unnecessary. We don't need it. These shows should be goofy. They're best when they're goofy. But yeah, you have any parting thoughts about it? Anything you wanted to say about Virgin Soul?
I was really disappointed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really, really wanted
Great
to like
OP
it.
and ED.
Oh yeah, the ED is so freaking cute.
Yeah, by Daoko, who's the rapper girl who was in Me Me Me, which it doesn't really sound like her. It sounds it actually sounds totally different from anything else she's done. But yeah, great OP, great ED, great artwork, great animation, all squandered on this boring ass storyline that goes nowhere. So. Yep, and this is it's really my Studio Mappa problem. Every show they've made is gorgeous and experimental and does new things. It is totally awesome, and the script is fucking terrible. So Mappa, please, except for Yuri on Ice, that was the one good one. That one made up for the previous 4 years, but now you got to make up for what you're doing already, fucking it up immediately afterwards. At least in my opinion. This show is an 8 on Mal, so I guess people like it. And that's it for this episode of Finish or Fail.
Yeah.
Apologies for the relative dearth of videos this past week. I have been making some, but they haven't come out yet because they're all long fucking things. And we are about to pack up my room tomorrow, and then the day after that, we're going to move to New York. And we're going to drive 10 hours. I'm going to drive 10 hours. She's going to keep me awake for 10 hours. And then set up a new place. And then it should be smooth sailing on videos from then on out. I'll finally be done with all adventure, all travel, all bullshit. It's just getting a place in New York.
Work.
Yeah, you'll be back at work. And so I'll be able to work as well. I look forward to that. And we'll see you in the next one.
Bye.